Hello, everybody, and welcome to WKCTC. We are so glad that you've decided to spend part of your evening with us for our Come Home to WKCTC live stream. Whether you're thinking about starting college for the first time, returning after taking a break, finishing a degree that you started maybe many years ago, or preparing for a brand new career, tonight is all about helping you take that next step with confidence. Over the next hour, you're going to hear from experts across our campus who will answer some of the most common questions prospective students ask about admissions, financial aid, choosing a program, balancing college, and work with a family, and the many support services here available. I'm Mary Beth from the WKCTC Marketing Office, and I'm so excited to be your host. I also want to introduce Lindsay Gibson from the Marketing Office as well, who will be popping in links from time to time into the comments, phone numbers, and other details directly into the chat. She may pop on screen from time to time and read questions from those of you watching. So that's your cue. If you have any questions about WKCTC in general or questions about going to college, now is your time to type those questions into the chat. We will answer them all live during tonight's stream. As a thank you for participating in the stream tonight, we are going to be giving away these Apple AirPods. So to get entered for the AirPods, all you have to do is simply click on the link provided in the chat. Each of you who fills out that short form will be entered into a drawing for the AirPods. We will draw a name tonight after the stream, and the winner will be announced on our Facebook page tomorrow morning. Before we begin, I'd like to welcome the Chancellor of West Kentucky Community and Technical College, Dr. Anton Reese. Hey, Dr. Reese.
Thank you so much, Mary Beth.
Yeah.
First, I would like to really extend my appreciation to you for taking the time out to participate in this online event amidst your busy schedule. I'm excited and happy of what this means for you considering coming to WKCTC and the impact that will have for you and your family. I have two simple asks this evening. First, I want to encourage you to ask good questions. By the way, reach out, text, call a friend to join us online as we speak. And let's have some fun, right? This is an exciting decision and an exciting time for you. So with that, I really look forward to seeing you this fall at WKCTC. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Mary Beth.
Great. Thank you so much for being here, Dr. Reese. Appreciate it very much. So again, let's make this session informative, fun, and most importantly, tailored to your needs. So don't forget to fill out the short form to be entered for the Apple AirPods. And without further ado, let's dive right in. So one of the biggest questions I think people have when they begin thinking about college is simple. How am I going to pay for this? And the good news is that college is often much more affordable than many people realize. So joining us now is Mark Smith from Financial Aid. How's it going, Mark?
Hey, Mary Beth. Thanks so much for having me. Listen, I'm the director of Financial Aid, and I've been with the college for about 15 years now. 7 of them have been in Financial Aid, and I get questions from the community all the time about how to pay for college. And it's really a simple process with starting with the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid. So that's what our office does. We help students complete it. We help you get awarded, help you pay for college. So that's step one that I'm going to encourage everyone to do that's considering going to college.
Okay, great. So for that first person who's thinking about coming to WKCTC, how do they go about getting that financial aid and filling out that FAFSA form?
Yeah, so it really is simple. It's an online process. You're going to start at studentaid.gov, G-O-V, and make a profile if you haven't ever done it. Come into our office and we'll help you walk through that process, okay? You can give us a call too if you get stuck, and there's an 800 number for federal student aid out there as well. But just come in, get started, and we can get you awarded. And from there on, there's other types of aid that you may be eligible for too. So start with studentaid.gov for sure.
Okay, so I think that there are some adults out there who fear that they might not qualify, maybe because they've been out of school for several years. So is that true?
Absolutely not. Okay, so I mean, first of all, I'm gonna say it again. It's like a dead horse. I'm gonna beat it in the ground. Just studentaid.gov. You got to complete the FAFSA for the free application for federal student aid. If you don't apply, you can't get it. I can promise you that. So let's get that step done. And if you are working, even if you don't meet the income requirements from the FAFSA, because it is income-based, and maybe that income's too high, there are other options for scholarships through the state, local, community. So we complete the FAFSA, and we'll help you with the next steps to get some aid awarded. Over 90% of our students get some type of financial aid.
Okay. Now, I know that some students may fear that if they miss that priority deadline, that they've missed out. So if they do miss that priority deadline, should they still go ahead and complete that form?
Absolutely. The priority deadline we have set for fall is tomorrow. So, I mean, get it done, and we can help you get it done. That just helps ensure that we can have your aid awarded by the time classes start. We'll still get your aid awarded as soon as we can. So please do that. It's not too late. There's payment plan options as well. There's classes that start in October as well. So we can help you guys out for sure.
Okay, cool. So I know that sometimes students are asked to provide additional documents after submitting their application. So can you explain what some of those documents might be and what that process looks like?
The main document that I'm seeing right now that students are being requested to show is their identification. Okay, it's like a state-issued, government-issued ID. You just bring that into our office and we'll help get that cleared on your account. Other tasks may be something like some tax forms or some income documentation that are out there, and you can do that on your student account self-service and upload it yourself very securely. But
okay.
Just reach out to us for help. I'm going to say that too. We're here for you.
Awesome. So hold tight real quick. It looks like we do have a question. So I'm going to pop it over to Lindsay and see what that question is from the chat.
Hi, so we have a question from YouTube from Super Cat Creative 4381. What is the culinary program about?
Do we have somebody from, there we go. Sorry.
Hi. The culinary program is about cooking. It starts with the basics and the health requirements and safety. There's some pastry classes. There's some front of the house classes where you learn the customer skills to deal with your customers who are coming in. It's just the basics of cooking and getting you out there in the restaurants and being able to serve your customers food that is going to satisfy their taste and start you from the beginning and end you with some chef skills.
Great. Thank you so much, Deidre. We appreciate that question very much. So, Mark, let's talk a little bit about financial aid expenses that go beyond tuition. So, what might some other expenses be besides tuition, and does any financial aid money help cover those?
It's a great question, and yes, you can use any residual financial aid to help purchase books and supplies. There's a task that you'll have to do on your self-service once as the financial aid bookstore release indicator. Okay, but you just have to do that once, and that allows the bookstore to see that, and you can charge books in the bookstore 10 days before classes start, up until 10 days into class 2 if there's any other needed supplies.
Great. And before we move on, before we go to the next guest, what is one piece of advice that you would give to someone who is maybe nervous about paying for college and the affordability of it?
It's a great question, and I get this again in the community and from friends and parents, I guess, of children. Give me a call. You know, really call financial aid if you're hesitant to complete the FAFSA, need help doing it, nervous about it. Just give me a call. I'll give you one-on-one guidance, and we'll talk about your specific situation. So,
great.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Mark. I appreciate you being here with us and taking the time to answer those questions. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
And if you have any questions for Mark later in the chat, feel free to type those into the comments, and we'll be glad to answer those. So I think one of the biggest takeaways is that you shouldn't assume that college is out of reach financially until you've explored your options, and just know that there are so many resources available, and our team is here to help you every step of the way. You know, just like Mark said, call us. So they definitely want to hear from you. You know, once you've figured out how you're going to pay for college, I know that, oftentimes the next question becomes, how do I actually get started? So to answer that, I would like to welcome Neil Clark, who is our Associate Dean of Enrollment Services. How's it going, Neil?
Great. How are you doing this evening?
Doing great.
It's a pleasure to be here. Again, my name is Neil Clark, and I'm the Associate Dean of Enrollment. Super excited to be here this evening to talk about the great services that we provide here at WKCTC. Obviously, we are on a roll to be able to try to increase our enrollment with adult recruiting, and this is a great platform for us to be able to do that. And so welcome to all our viewers, and hope that they get a lot out of what we're talking about tonight.
Fantastic. So Neil, I want to ask, what are some of the biggest concerns that people share with you when they first contact WKCTC?
And some of the concerns, this is a good question, some of the concerns that we hear often are costs associated with tuition, and also balancing work life, and also just, are they ready to come back to school or even go to school?
Okay, great. If somebody's out there watching right now, somebody's out there watching the stream tonight, and they want to come back to school, what would you say is the very first step that they should take?
Absolutely. I would strongly encourage them to contact our office, at the admissions office, or better yet, just go online to apply to WKCTC. The application process is free and is very easy to navigate.
Wonderful. So a question I think that we hear all the time from people that they attended college maybe years ago, but they never finished. So do they have to start completely over?
No, they don't. Actually, WKCTC does a great job of accepting credit hours. We have a transfer equivalency coordinator in our records office that evaluates transcripts, and in most cases, classes that are taken previously can count towards whatever credential-seeking major or degree that they want to go towards.
Okay. And another thing that we hear all the time, potential students are balancing careers, they're raising children, they're caring for maybe family members. So are students able to attend part-time and take online classes if they have those busy schedules?
Absolutely. That's the beauty of what we have to offer here at WKCTC. Students can come either full-time or part-time. We also have the flexibility of course offerings. We can take courses during the day or even in the evening. They also have courses that can take online as well.
Okay, great. And, you know, not everyone always knows exactly what they want to study. So how do you help someone who's interested in college, but they're not sure exactly what program that is right for them?
Yeah, if they come to WKCTC, obviously they'll come to our office, but we would love to refer them to our advising office. We work hand in hand together. Our advisors do a great job of partnering with our potential students, adults who want to come back to school, and getting them a major or a degree in their area of interest.
Okay, great. And then finally, before we bring on the next guest, what is one thing that you wish every prospective student knew before they applied?
Yeah, that's a great question. If I was being honest, I would say do not allow your uncertainties to stop you from accomplishing your goals. Here at WKCTC, we have the staff and the faculty to be able to allow our students to reach their goals.
Well said. I think that's great advice. So thank you so much, Neil, for being here with us tonight. I appreciate that very much. So I hope that everyone watching out there realizes that you don't have to have every detail figured out before you take that very first step. You know, we've shared a lot of information so far, but sometimes the most meaningful perspective comes from someone who's been exactly where you are. So whether you're returning to college after several years, changing careers, or wondering if now is the right time to take that next step, hearing from someone who's lived that experience can be incredibly encouraging. So let's take a moment to hear from one of our current students about why she chose WKCTC, what it's like coming back to school, and how that decision has impacted her life.
Hi, I'm Talia Hamilton. As an adult student at WKCTC, one of the things I appreciate most is the incredible support from the college community. Whether you're taking classes online or on campus, the professors are encouraging, approachable, and genuinely want to see every student succeed. Going back to college requires support, especially when you're balancing work, family, and everyday responsibilities. That's why it's so important to have people in your corner. Here, there are so many resources available to help students stay on track, from support and advising to services that help families succeed. Getting involved is another great part of the experience. Our student-led clubs and organizations give everyone the opportunity to connect with others, build leadership skills, and be a part of something meaningful. Every department at West Kentucky has an important role, but everything comes back to one goal: student success. You can see that commitment in the people who work every day to create a welcoming environment where students are encouraged to grow, reach their goals, and believe in themselves. As a student leader, student worker, and a mom, I can honestly say WKCTC has given me the opportunities I never imagined. I came back to college hoping to build a better future, and I found a community that believed in me every step of the way. If you're thinking about going back to school, WKCTC is the place where you can achieve more than you ever thought possible.
So, what a wonderful story. Thank you so much, Talia, for sharing your experience with us. I hope that that story reminds everyone watching that there isn't one right path to college. So, just a reminder, if you've just joined us, that we are taking questions live. If you have a question about WKCTC or enrolling, please type your questions into the comments now. Also, we are giving away these Apple AirPods tonight. So all you have to do to get entered into the drawing is to fill out the short form linked in the comment section. Now that we've talked about taking that first step, let's talk about what happens once you've enrolled. So you're going to work with an advisor, create a plan that fits your goals, your schedule, and your life, from choosing the right classes to making sure you're on the right track to graduate or transfer. Our advising team is going to be there every step of the way to make sure that process is as smooth as possible. So joining me now is Amanda Scheidegger from our Advising Center. Hey, Amanda, how are you?
Hey, Mary Beth. So I'm Amanda Scheidegger. I'm the Director of Advising and Assessment here at West Kentucky Community and Technical College. We have an advising center at West Kentucky, and that houses myself and 3 full-time advisors. But we also have faculty advisors that help our students. Our goal, though, is to help our students get the right classes they need and the time that they need them so that they can graduate, transfer, get out there and get that job that they've been, dreaming of. And so we work very closely with our students on what they need, if they're in the right program, what classes they should take when. We really want our students to have ownership because this is their journey. We've already had our journey.
Yeah.
And we want them to really thrive and be excited. So that's what our office does. We help students get to their goal.
Man, I think that was like the perfect description of your area. So one concern that we hear a lot of times from prospective students, especially adult learners, is that it's been a really long time since they've been in school. And that's nervous, it makes you really crazy sometimes. So how do you help students who may be feeling that nervous energy about coming back to college after several years away?
Well, myself and the other advisors in the Advising Center are very attuned to that. We have a lot of non-traditional learners, which is what we call adult learners. They have maybe had a gap where they didn't come to college right out of high school, or maybe they tried it once and it just didn't work out, and now they're back, they're ready to do it. We try to encourage them and say, you're not alone. We have lots of students that look like you, that are parents like you, that have jobs like you. So take that chance. Take a few classes. See what it's like. You're not going to be the oldest person in there, more than likely.
I love that. So once someone has applied, what does the advising process look like? And how do students actually get registered then for classes?
So Neil, who was on here before, his team, the recruitment team, does a great job of getting students to that application point. After that, we make sure that all of their transcripts are in. So if they have attended another college, we need to have those transcripts evaluated by our records office. We want them to get the credit for what they've already taken. If they haven't attended college, we'll need a high school transcript or a GED transcript. And once we've done that, then we want to meet with that student and really, delve in, ask those questions. Schedule making, that's part of it, but it is not the only thing. We want to talk to them about those hopes and dreams. We want to ask, okay, you want to be a nurse? Why do you want to be a nurse? You like helping people? That's great. But did you know if healthcare is not for you and you still want to help people, there's all these other opportunities out there. So we really
Yes.
ask those questions and delve deep in those advising sessions.
Man, that's so important. And that goes really into my next question. Not everyone knows exactly what career choice that they want to pursue. So in that case, how do you go about exactly, helping those students decide when they're still exploring those options?
Yeah. So we do have a lot of students that will come and say, I know I want to come to college, but I don't know what I want to do. I might have an interest in this or that, but I can't make up my mind. What can I do? So depending on those programs, we might suggest, you could take a couple classes in maybe a couple of different areas, see what's going to work for you. We could also talk to them about our FYE class, because FYE is a class that all new students have to take at West Kentucky. It's called Achieving Academic Success. And in that class, they will do some career exploration. So if they're not really sure, they'll learn more about different careers while they're in that class, which will hopefully help them decide what they want to do. However, I have had students that are even in their third or fourth semester that still don't know, quote unquote, what they want to be when they grow up or what they want to do. And that's okay. A college education, getting those critical thinking skills, that can help you even if you don't know what you want to do yet. And, I'm guilty. I changed my major like 3 times when I was in college because I tried things and then I just didn't like it. It just didn't work out for me. And so I tell students that and tell them it's okay if you decide you want to do something else. If mom and dad or whoever is pushing you to do something in healthcare, because there's always jobs there, but you don't really want to touch people or, do patient care. There are other things out there. So, it's okay to change your major.
Oh, and that's so real. I remember personally, I changed my major 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
So sometimes it just takes a while
It
and you
does.
don't know exactly what you want to do until you land on it. And then you're like, yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That's the one. So a lot of students plan to continue their education after WKCTC. So how does your office help prepare students who know that they want to transfer to a 4-year university?
That's a great question. So we have a wonderful transfer coordinator. Her name is Deanna Shelley. So she's one of the advisors in our office. But she also works a lot with our transfer partners. So we can all advise transfer students in our office. But she works with those partners, those 4-year schools, in-state, out-of-state even, public, private, on building plans that our students want. So if a student comes to us and they say, well, after West Kentucky, I'm going to transfer to Murray and I want to do business management. Deanna has gone on Murray's website, created an academic plan, transfer plan for students who want to do that. So it takes the guesswork out of it. So we really, have those classes and can say to our students, these are the classes you need. This is what's going to transfer to Murray for that degree.
Awesome.
So yeah, Deanna's great. If we don't have a plan that a student wants, there's a request form on our website, and she will go in and do that plan for that student. So we have a lot of those transfer plans already created, but she can also make new ones.
That's fantastic. I love that. So something else I think I hear a lot about students who may be wanting to come back after a while is the aspect of technology.
Yeah.
And how technology has, become first and foremost in education today. So what should students know about computers, online resources, and the technology that they're going to need during college? And are there any of those resources available if they don't have access?
Yeah, so when I talk to students, it doesn't matter if they're taking online classes or not. They have to have access to some kind of computer. That doesn't mean they have to go out and buy one. We have a lot of computer labs on our campus that they have access to, but they're going to need to be able to navigate our MyPath account, our Blackboard, which is our online learning system, student email, those kinds of things. However, when students ask me, okay, I'm gonna get a laptop before college because they just want to have one, I would say, if you don't already have one, what works best with our system are Windows computers. MacBooks, I know, are very nice, and they're great for some things, graphic design and such. And so if you're going to be at PSAD, that might be a better option. But if you're not going to do the visual communications or something, a Windows computer is what's going to work best. We also have a tech hub on our campus. So this was something that started a year and a half ago, I think. It is wonderful. It's a wonderful resource for our students. Students have trouble uploading assignments to Blackboard, or if they do have a MacBook, converting that .pages file into the .docx file that's required in Blackboard. You know, all kinds of things. Honestly, maybe they set up their account back in May, and now it's August. They haven't been in it the whole summer, and they're like, I've got classes starting in a week. What do I do? Our Tech Hub can help with all of those things, and they are here on campus, of course, in the Matheson building, but also they can help students over the phone via email. They're wonderful.
Yeah, I feel like the Tech Hub is like a little known resource. It's like a little gym on campus for sure. So, Amanda, before we switch guests, what is one piece of advice that you would give to someone who's watching and wondering if they're really ready to take that first step?
So I've been thinking about this one because it's like one piece of advice. That's kind of tough. But I would say if you're thinking about it, come have a conversation with us. We are here at the campus right now, Monday through Thursday, 8 to 6. Come, you don't have to have an appointment. Come walk in. Even if you don't know where you're going, come to the Anderson building, room 106, that's the advising center. We will help you figure out what's going on. We'll talk to you about what we have. It doesn't mean you have to sign up for classes that day if you're not ready. We'll just talk to you about what the programs that we offer, how to get started, anything like that. And I know Neil's team would do the same as well, recruitment. They'll talk to anybody that comes in and help them ease their mind about any questions. So if you're thinking about it, just come on in and see us.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amanda.
Yeah.
We appreciate you being here with us tonight. And if you have a question later during the stream that pertains to advising, Amanda can definitely come back on and answer those questions. And I think it's really important to note that our guests so far, when we ask them what their advice is, they've all said, just come have a conversation with us. I think that's so important. You know, on a larger campus, you may not get that. WKCTC is so special and so tailored to you and what you need that we're all just here and willing and ready to talk to you. And really one of the biggest takeaways is that nobody has to navigate college alone. So from your very first advising appointment through graduation, there are people here who are committed to helping you succeed. So now that we've talked a little bit about planning classes and getting started, let's talk about another important part of the college journey, which is understanding your tuition and the resources available to help make college affordable. So joining us now is Director of Business Operations, Jessica West. Hey, Jessica.
Hi, Mary Beth. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to talk about what our team can do for the students to understand their tuition, understand how the financial aid, as Mark talked earlier in the program about getting that FAFSA done, that really is your start to get to our office and talk about how that financial aid, scholarships, payment plans all work to help take that really that scary financial piece and make that accessible and easy for students to understand. So we really we want to talk to students and also want to really help students, if you're listening, who maybe have been to school, have a balance, and are kind of afraid about whether you can come back or not. Our team has some great options for you as well. So we're really just looking for anybody who's wanting to come back to school to come to our office and talk to our team.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask a question, and then we're going to shoot it over for a question that we have actually from the audience. So the first question I have for you is, can I make monthly payments to my balance, or do I have to pay it in a big lump sum?
So we do have a great opportunity for students, which is the NILNET payment plan. So the NILNET payment plan really takes, and if you sign up before the first day of class, it takes and divides that monthly payment, or takes the monthly payment by 4, and makes it a much more reasonable rate for students. It really is a great opportunity to pay no interest. It's a one-time $30 fee down, and then the student doesn't have to incur any other fees while they're paying that balance.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And it sounds like our online question is actually for you.
Okay.
So we're going to shoot it over to Lindsay to let her ask that question.
Hi, so we have a question from Facebook from Christian Clayton. And the question is there a way for adults coming back that have a bill from the past to come in and take classes without paying it off first?
It's a really great question, and we really are pushing. We've had a program, and we're really trying to really push that out for students now. It's called the WKCTC Student Debt Payback Program. There's a link on our website with a form that students can access. If you're interested, you have a balance out there, and you're really just trying to figure out how to get back into classes. What this program is going to do is take a student who has a balance, who hasn't earned their degree yet, and offer a scholarship. So this student could, if they are approved and accepted, would be enrolled in current classes. And as they earn their grades, stay in classes, then they're earning the payment back for their past due balance without having to put anything down to start with. Okay. It's a really great opportunity. We're really proud of the program. So there's a team that looks at the students' accounts, and we really encourage you, if you're thinking about coming to school and you have a balance that you're afraid is a barrier for you, to put in for that. Even if you don't qualify, we have a couple other opportunities that could be an option for students to get back in classes.
Okay, wonderful. So if I need to set up a payment plan for college, does it cost anything to get that set up?
The great thing is if you sign up before that first day of class, there's no down payment at all for that NELNET payment plan, and it is that $30 enrollment fee is all it costs. And like I said, no interest. So it really is a great opportunity. We really encourage students. I call it sort of that $30 peace of mind. As you're getting ready to start classes, even if you're working with a financial aid team, you think there might be some scholarship opportunities out there. What that NELNET payment plan does is sets it up, it secures your classes, and then if your financial aid comes through, we get some scholarship opportunities, then really you're not going to have to pay very large payments throughout the semester.
Yeah, and that is a major peace of mind for sure.
Yes.
So a lot of students ask when they first come to campus is, do they need a parking permit to park on campus?
Yes, so we do have a parking permit. It is $25 per semester. And so what that permit is, it guarantees you to park anywhere where the students are parked. There's a faculty and staff parking spots that are very well labeled. And then our security team will come through. The first couple weeks of classes, they may give a warning as a reminder to students to get that parking permit. And you can get that online. There's a link on our website that you order it online, and then our business team will mail it to you, so you don't even have to come into the office.
Great.
You're also welcome to come into the business office and pick that up if you want to use your financial aid or scholarship funds to get that, in which you can.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
Okay, so it looks like we have another question from the chat. So we're going to shoot that over to Lindsay and let Lindsay ask that question. Lindsay.
All right.
Hi everyone. So Aiden Smith asked, how many semesters does it take to obtain a welding certificate?
Hi, Aiden. That's a great question. We have 11 different certificates in the welding program at WKCTC. One of the smallest certificates requires about 5 hours, so that's a pair of classes, a lecture and a lab. There are a couple of certificates with 5-hour requirements, so you could get that in an 8-week schedule. Our welding program is currently running 8-week classes and have for the past few years, so that really speeds up the process for welding. The other certificates may require more hours. The diploma in welding, a combination welder, it's going to take anywhere from 3 to 4 semesters. With the 8-week schedule, if you really want to push yourself, you can complete it in 3 semesters, or you can make it 4. You can also roll those combination welder diploma classes into an Associates in Applied Science and take a few more gen eds, and then you'd have an AAS. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Deidre, for coming on and answering that question. We appreciate that very much. So Jessica, we may have touched on this a bit, but if somebody has an old balance and a financial hold, what are the options for them to come back to school?
That's the main thing that our office is really trying to work on, to help remove those financial barriers so that students can come back and complete their degrees. We know there's a lot of people, we know that life happens, and we want to make sure that we give you opportunities. So like I said, the WKCTC Student Debt Payback Program, that's a great opportunity. And we do encourage anybody to fill out that form and let our team look at your account, really reach out to you and see what we can do. The other option is a NELNET past due payment plan. Again, through NELNET, There is a one-time fee, no interest, no additional fees are added to it. It's not like a collection, so it's really you just being able to divide your prior balance by up to 12 months and get that paid off. And once it's down to a certain level, then you can also get enrolled in classes while you're paying off that past due balance. So we really want to encourage you to get back into the classes as quick as possible. And our team really is trying to find solutions to help students who we understand have gotten into, like I said, maybe a semester of life that has happened. Maybe something happened with family or work and they weren't able to complete. So we really want to get that student to that finish line and get them back into classes. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So Jessica, I have one more question for you before you go.
Yes.
But before I do, I want to encourage those of you who are out there watching. We have nearly a dozen experts from all over campus here tonight. So if you have any questions at all about enrolling or admissions or financial aid, anything, any of our programs, this is such a great opportunity for you to ask them from the comfort of your mobile device. So we do encourage you to ask those questions into the comments now. So Jessica, the last question I have for you, and this is such a great thing that we have, and it's the Adult Promise Scholarship. So how can a student qualify for that Adult Promise Scholarship?
I'm very excited about the Adult Promise Scholarship. So with that, if you are over 25 by August 1st, that's the cutoff for that age. If you have not been to school since 2020, so pre-COVID, if you haven't been to any classes or anything and you're ready to get back into class, you're ready to either start or finish something that you did start, the Adult Promise is a last dollar scholarship. And so what that does for qualifying residents of our Kentucky, Illinois, and Tennessee counties, we will pay your tuition, your fees, a lot if you're doing online, the digital content fee, which is what we call those ebooks. So if a student's taking an online class, they have an ebook, all of that's covered by this scholarship. So it really does give that student the opportunity for 1 full year, 2 semesters, up to 30 credit hours, to come back to school and either complete, like I said, or get started on a degree. It's really easy. There's not even an application for this one.
Wow.
You really just need to do your application for admission to WKCTC, fill out your FAFSA, and then reach out to our business office. And then we will take it from there. We'll get you either working with your financial aid or get that scholarship on the account.
That's fantastic.
So yeah,
Thank you so much, Jessica, for being with us tonight. We really appreciate you being here.
thank you very much.
Okay, so, we have spent just a lot of time tonight talking about getting enrolled and paying for college, but now I want to turn our attention a little bit to what it's actually going to be like once you're studying and once you're here on campus. So we are so fortunate tonight to have the deans of each of our academic divisions here tonight. If you have any questions at all about any of the programs that we have at WKCTC, now is such an incredible time to ask. We're going to start by talking with Christy Pettit, who is our Dean of the Health Sciences Division, and that includes nursing, medical information technology, radiography, and so many more. So Christy, welcome.
Thank you for allowing us to be here. My name is Christy Pettit, and I am the Dean of Health Sciences. So Health Sciences is 11 programs that we have, health programs. I can name them all, but I'll probably gonna leave one out. So, but again, like you said, nursing, radiography, medical lab tech, so surgical tech. So our division is all the healthcare programs.
Great. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate that. So a student may have maybe applied to get into some of your programs and come into the wording selective admissions. So can you talk a little bit about what selective admissions means and what types of programs have selective admissions?
Okay, so of the 11 programs, 8 of them are selective admissions, meaning that they are based on a point system. We have limited space, sometimes due to our labs, also due to clinical facility being able to go there. So it's based on a point system. The point system means you are, it's a selective admissions, and so the points are based off of GPA or grade point average. Maybe it's also going to be based on your ACT or SAT scores, and like I said, cumulative GPA, and then bump points, such as you have A's or B's for a lot of your science and math classes. So again, selective admissions, because we have limited spots and many more applicants than spots that we have.
Okay. So if a student really wanted to get into nursing and had more questions about those selective admission requirements, I think that we do offer some information sessions. So can you talk a little bit about what the information sessions will do for prospective students and maybe what programs offer information sessions?
Okay, so information sessions used to be called pre-admission conferences. So information sessions are of those 8 selective admissions, selective admissions, they are going to, the program coordinator holds information sessions where anyone can come who is even interested at all. That's the opportunity they have to ask questions. The program coordinators are going to talk about what is the prerequisite classes, what's the admission criteria, what's the cost of the program. So if you are even interested, maybe you want to apply soon, maybe you want to apply in another year, that's your chance. Attend an information session, and there's usually several throughout the year, and it's all based on the webpage, or it's on there so they can look to see when those will be, and this is their chance to ask questions. So at those information sessions, ask the questions, and then you'll get much more information about that particular program.
Perfect. You know, if you're following us and watching on Facebook right now, Facebook is also a really great place to find those information sessions. We post about those regularly. So if you are following us on Facebook, that is a great place to find out those dates and a little bit more about those as well. So Christy, do you offer in your division any programs that are online?
I get asked that a lot. I answer that email several times a week. Of the 11, there is only one that is strictly online, and that is Medical Information Technology, or MIT. It is healthcare, but it's more business related. So within Medical Information Technology, there are degrees, there are certificates, and there are diplomas. So 3 of the degrees are medical coding, medical office management, and medical administrative track. So a variety, again, that people can take. It will take up to 2 years. It could take you 2 semesters. Again, you got a variety, certificates or degrees or certificates, yep.
So a lot to choose from.
Yep.
For sure. Is there any way that someone, anything that they can do to increase their chances of getting into a program that they apply to?
Gotcha. So you need to strive for those A's and B's because you get extra points for A's and B's. You can also, I know nursing in particular has entrance exams, and there are 2 entrance exams which you can take per admission cycle. So if you don't make high enough on one of the entrance exams, take the other. And if you're not able to get in on that particular time, so the next, you can take those again, try to get a higher score.
Okay.
Also, when students apply, they may be in anatomy and physiology. They might not be finished with it yet, so you're not going to get any points. So when you apply, sometimes it is better to have those classes finished, and then you will get extra points for those A's and B's for those particular classes.
I see. Great. That's great information. Thank you for that. I have one more question for you. What about any clinical requirements that must be met? Can you talk a little bit about clinical requirements?
Okay, so all of our programs that go to the hospitals have to have drug screen and background checks cleared. You cannot have any felonies, and that is a hospital clinical facility requirement. All immunizations have to be up to date. And of course, COVID, we're pretty far out of the pandemic now. So a lot of people still ask, is it required to have the COVID vaccination? And it's not. Many of our long-term care facilities no longer require that. Suggested, but not required. So again, just immunizations up to date. And another question that we get is if they are a legal cannabis card holder. Even though in the state of Kentucky, which was passed in 2023, even if you are a legal card holder, you have to pass a drug screen, and unfortunately, you're going to test positive. And the hospitals are not allowing that.
Okay.
So even though you are a registered card holder, that does not opt you to not, you have to pass the drug screen.
It's good to know. Christy, I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
And as we go to our next guest, if you have any other questions about any of the healthcare related fields, Christy can definitely come back on and answer those questions. So, you know, healthcare continues to just be one of our fastest growing career fields. And it's really exciting to hear about the many opportunities available for students who want to make a difference in the lives of others. You know, but healthcare is just one of many pathways available at WKCTC. Some of our students enjoy working with their hands, solving problems, building things, or using technology. And our technical and applied sciences programs may be the perfect fit for that person. So to talk a little bit more about that, I'm going to welcome Deidre Moore, who is our Dean of Applied Technologies. Hey, Deidre.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm the Dean of Applied Technologies at WKCTC, and we have several different programs that typically fall into what people would think CTE education is.
Okay, perfect. So I want to ask a few questions. So what makes the Applied Technologies programs at WKCTC different from other post-secondary options?
I think one of the biggest differences, our students aren't sitting in a lecture room waiting several semesters before they get hands-on experience. From the beginning, our students are in the labs, they're using industry standard equipment, and they're learning the skills they need in the workforce. Each of our programs work with industry and local businesses to make sure we're teaching what their students need for employment. And that really develops a relationship between the programs and local industry and keeping the programs on track and the students to have the skills they need. Another thing is our faculty. Most of our faculty have years of experience in whatever they're teaching. So they're not teaching out of a textbook, they're teaching from their own real experience, and that makes the difference. Our classes are smaller, so the students develop a relationship with the instructors, and the instructors want to see them succeed, and that makes a big difference than a large four-year college that might be a different result in the end.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, honestly, for me, I think I remember when I started on this campus and took tours of the facilities and just saw, you know, the facilities that we offer and the things that we offer for these students to have these hands-on experiences is just phenomenal and something that, you know, a lot of people don't know that we have. So I think that this is really important so that we can share that with everybody. So what kind of careers, Deidre, can students prepare for in the Applied Technologies division?
We have so many different programs in our division. We offer things from certificates to diplomas to associates in applied science. So even if you're working in a career currently that you're happy with and you just want some upskills, you could come in and take a couple of classes in a semester or even in an 8-week and give yourself some additional skills. The programs we offer are welding, collision repair, electrical, construction, cosmetology, culinary, fire safety, EMT, HVAC, industrial maintenance, computer information technology, computer engineering, industrial maintenance, diesel technology. We've got several. I'm afraid I've left one off.
No, that was impressive.
We've got so many programs, and so many of these are in such a demand right now that you can get a great job with high-paying career that you can be successful in.
Absolutely. So what if a student knows that they want to take a technical program, but they're not exactly sure what's the right fit? So what would you say to that student?
I would want them to give us a call. They could either talk to the program coordinator, they could give me a call, send an email, talk to the advising center and admissions, pick out some programs they're interested in and visit those programs. Talk to them about the requirements, about the skills they're going to learn, about the job outlook. Something that with some new industry coming into Paducah that's important is knowing that you're preparing for a career that you can be hired in. If you don't have a perfect background, there are careers that will suit you and you can be very successful. But we would like, you know, for you to be aware of the things that are requiring those perfect backgrounds, because there are some careers out there that are like that. And we want you to pick a career that's going to fit you and that you can be successful in.
Sure. And that goes a little bit into my next question of what would you say to someone who is considering college but worried about cost or finding a job afterward? Do you ever find that any of your students are having trouble finding jobs in these fields?
Of course, there's a few students who struggle to find a job in their field.
Most students, though, are finding a job pretty soon because
Yeah.
there's such a demand for it. And businesses are contacting us asking for students because they know our programs they do such a great job of preparing the students and our graduates that they want our students as their employees. And that's great. And the financial aid and paying for it, as Mr. Smith said earlier, there's just many options out there to help pay for it. There's work-ready scholarships and ways that you can sometimes manage to go through without any debt, any extreme expense. And it's just worth investigating. It's worth looking into.
Wonderful. So I have one more question for you. What would you say about the Applied Technologies Division that makes WKCTC a place where students can succeed? What is that one special thing about the Applied Technologies Division?
I think it's our faculty. We have great faculty. They're committed to student success. They want to see the students succeed. With the smaller class sizes and smaller programs, they're able to develop a relationship with the student, and that makes a huge difference. We have students who come back after graduation just to share some of their success stories with their instructors, and that's what we're looking for. We want it to be the type of education that the students excel because their instructors expect them to excel, and they want to meet those standards, and I think that makes a difference because we want them to build a successful future, and it's a great relationship between the instructors and some of the students. And
absolutely. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Deidre. We really appreciate you being here. You know, I think one of those things that makes WKCTC so unique is that whether your goal is to enter the workforce quickly or you're going to continue your education, there is a pathway just for you. So for many students, that pathway begins with our Arts and Sciences Division. So whether you're planning to transfer to a four-year university, you're exploring different career options, or building a strong academic foundation, Arts and Sciences offers countless opportunities. So joining us now is Britton Shirley, who is our Dean of Arts and Sciences. Hey, Britton.
Hey, Mary Beth. Glad to be on here tonight. Just to tell everybody a little bit about myself, I've been at the college probably about almost 20 years now. I started as an English professor, and now I'm Dean of Arts and Sciences, which really means I kind of help faculty get everything they need to be successful in the classrooms and to kind of help make sure the ship runs smoothly.
Okay, cool. So you hear the term arts and sciences, and for a lot of people, those are different things. So can you explain to us like the general classes that are offered within that Arts and Sciences Division?
Okay, it's a good question. Most of the classes within Arts and Sciences are what we call general education classes. And those are the core classes that most students are going to need for any credential they're going to get. So these are classes in things like writing, communication, science, math, art, and then you've got your social sciences for things like psychology, sociology, American government.
Okay. So what would you say, what do these classes prepare students to do after graduation?
I think the general education classes we've got at WKCTC prepare students for a couple of things. First off, they're really designed to help students seamlessly transfer to get a four-year credential. So you start with us. If you're going full-time, you take about 2 years. You learn a little bit about yourself. You learn how to be a good college student, figure out what it is you actually want to get your degree in, and then you transfer to a four-year. If you're not interested in transferring and you're here for an associate's degree or a diploma, I think these are the classes that really kind of help you become a better thinker, to problem solve, to communicate more clearly. And as Deidre kind of said, these are actually skills that most every employer you talk to is going to want. So even if you're not planning on transfer, these skills are going to help you find a job. And I'm biased, but I kind of think they make you a better person and better citizen once you leave us.
Perfect. So it looks like we have a question from the chat. So we are going to pass the torch over to Lindsay, and Lindsay is going to ask that question from the chat. Hey, Lindsay.
Hi, everyone. So you guys have asked a lot of really great questions tonight, and here to tell you about an awesome upcoming event that we have going on is Neil Clark, the Associate Dean of Enrollment Services.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. We have an adult recruiting event coming on July the 28th. It's called Discover Your Path. And we're going to be at WKCTC at the Anderson Technical Building. It's going to be from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. This event is strictly an opportunity for our adults to come in, ask any type of questions. We want to go through the whole student experience with enrollment, advising, business office, financial aid. We're going to answer all the questions that you may have. And we're just super excited that you are on this call to be able to learn more about Discover Your Path. So if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to ask and call. We'll be glad to help you out.
Thank you so much, Neil. We appreciate that very much. Britton, let's talk about, are there any technical programs within your division for students?
Yeah, Mary Beth. So along with the gen ed classes, we do have a handful of technical programs in arts and sciences. If anybody's interested in teaching or working with children, we've got an education and an early childhood education program. We have a criminal justice program, which helps prepare students for careers in law enforcement or corrections. We have a very large business program, which prepares students for things like accounting, entrepreneurship, if you wanted to start your own business, human resource management, management in general. And then we've also got 2 programs down at our Paducah School of Art and Design campus, and that's down in Lowertown. There we've got a program in fine arts, which would prepare you to be a painter, drawing, sculpture, ceramics, and then we've got a visual communication program, which really prepares students to go into the workforce for things like videography, graphic design, things like that.
Perfect. And, you know, another little known fact I think about WKCTC for some might be our art school, which is just top notch.
I think anybody, if you've never been in that building, you should call us and come take a tour, because it really is one of the best arts facilities in the state.
Absolutely. So let's say that there is a potential student out there right now and they're listening and they've not been in school in a very long time and they're worried about what that classroom experience might be like. So can you kind of walk through what is the typical classroom experience within your division for a student?
Yeah, so I think the classroom experience really is probably one of the biggest selling points within my division and within WKCTC. You are going to have very caring and supportive faculty. You're going to have small class sizes. Most of our classes are 30 students or smaller. So you are not going to be sitting in a big lecture hall with 100 students where the professor is just talking at the front of the class, putting you to sleep. You're going to be a small class interacting with faculty, with your students. Your teachers are going to know your name. You're going to learn your student's name. It's really an interactive experience.
Absolutely. And Britton, I have one more question for you. So if there's somebody out there who's watching, who's worried, or maybe they're scared about starting or coming back to college, what would you tell them?
I think being scared when you're starting something new or trying something again is natural. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't try and do it. I think about every Christmas we watch Home Alone with my kids, and Kevin McAllister is always scared to go down in the basement because of the big furnace. And then he finally goes down there, and it's just a furnace, right? I think come onto campus, you're going to realize we're not that scary. Take that first step, and we'll help you out.
That's great advice. Thank you so much, Britton, for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
So it looks like we have another question in the chat, so I'm going to pass the torch over to Lindsay again for that question.
Hi, so we had a question from Christian Clayton asking how often are CPR classes held? And previously during the stream, we had a question asking about nighttime nursing classes.
Those are some good questions. So I'll answer the second one first. So as of now, our nursing classes are daytime only. So they are in person. And at this time, we do not have any evening courses available for nursing. The second is CPR. Our nursing faculty teach CPR skills checkoffs. There will be one in August. And then after that, we teach them 2 times a month. So it is online where you complete the test portion. and then you will come in and test off on the skills portion. So if you go to the nursing webpage, the ADN and LPN webpage, there are instructions on how to pay for this, and then you have to sign up to come in and do the test off portion, and because we are limited on space for those, but 2 times a month.
Thank you so much, Christy, for coming on to answer that question. And thanks again to Britton, who was just here with us. You know, one thing is really clear and throughout tonight's conversation, and that is that there's not just one path to success. Every student comes to WKCTC with different goals, different experiences, and different reasons for taking that next step. Sometimes the best way to understand what that journey looks like is to hear that directly from someone who's lived it. So let's take a moment to hear from one of our own WKCTC employees and alumni as she shares her personal story about returning to college, finding community, and how WKCTC helped shape her future.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Gibson, a graduate of West Kentucky Community and Technical College. I chose WKCTC for a few reasons. First, I was a non-traditional student when I decided to go to college. I was 26 years old, a single mom of 2, and I knew that I wanted to create a better life for myself and my family. As a Graves County resident, proximity was important. WKCTC was close enough that the commute never felt like a barrier. Cost was also a huge factor. Starting at WKCTC and earning my associate degree before transferring to a 4-year university made it possible for me to pursue my education in a much more affordable way. That's exactly what I did before finishing my bachelor's degree at Murray State University. But one of the greatest things that I gained during my time at WKCTC wasn't just my education, it was the community. I met most of my closest friends right here on this campus, friendships that have lasted well beyond graduation. In fact, I love the people and the sense of community so much that after earning my degree, I came back to work at WKCTC. Now I have the opportunity to help tell the stories of the place that helped me change my life. If I could tell a prospective student one thing, it would be this. It's never too late to decide you want your life to look different. It's never too late to invest in yourself or create new opportunities. Whether you're starting college for the first time, returning after a few years away, or changing careers, WKCTC offers programs, certificates, and degrees that can help you take that first step. The people here genuinely care about your success, and they'll be there to support and guide you every step of the way.
Thank you so much, Lindsay, for sharing your story. Stories like yours are such a powerful reminder that it's never too late to invest in yourself. Every journey begins with that single step, and we're here to help you take it. So just a reminder, if you've just joined us, we are taking questions live. If you have questions about WKCTC or enrolling, please type your questions into the comments now. Also, as another reminder, we're giving away these Apple AirPods tonight. All you have to do to get entered into the drawing is to fill out the short form linked in the comments. Another reminder, if you're watching tonight and you're not quite ready to take that next step, we're going to be doing another one of these lives on August the 3rd, right here on Facebook and YouTube. So mark your calendars, tell a friend. If you have anybody who's wondering or thinking about going back to college, let them know about the live stream on August the 3rd, right here at 6 o'clock. So one of the resources many students discover early in their college journey when they get on campus is our Student Success Center. Whether you need tutoring, technology assistance, study strategies, or just someone to help you stay on track, the Student Success Center is there to help. So joining us now to talk about that is Ethan Allen from the Student Success Center. Hey, Ethan.
Hey, Mary Beth, it's a pleasure to be here. So my name is Ethan Allen, and I serve as one of our student success coaches here on WKCTC's campus. Now, basically, in a nutshell, I get the unique experience of being able to work with students from varying backgrounds and experiences to try to help them achieve their goals while they're here at WKCTC. And one of my favorite parts of the job is really being able to help these students achieve what they set out to do. So, and one thing that I have to mention is if you don't know where to start, that's okay. You're not alone. Always feel free to feel free to reach out to us if you need us.
I think that is such great advice. You are not alone. You know, every student is going through the same things that you are. So I think that that's great advice. I love that statement. So Ethan, can you tell us a little bit about the kinds of services that are available through the Student Success Center?
Absolutely. So some of our main services that we offer tutoring, and our tutors, they are certified tutors. They have taken the classes that students need help with. We also have a success coaching, which is what I do. And success coaching, we work with students both on an academic level and a personal level to like I've said before, just help them succeed. And also, we offer our tech hub as well for any kind of technology issues that students may be experiencing. And we also have our first year experience course, FYE, which is a great way to kind of learn the lay of the land, and really learn how to be a successful college student.
Yeah, Amanda was talking a little bit about FYE earlier. I think that's just such an awesome class for students to take. You know, just to realize what everything is on campus and what resources they have. So this question really resonates with me. If someone struggles with math, or maybe writing, technology, where can they find help?
That's a good question. We get that question all the time in the Student Success Center. And like I said in the beginning, you are not alone if you struggle with these things. We have tutors who are always ready to help you. You also have success coaches available as a WKCTC student. And some of the things that we can help with on an academic level are time management, success plans, study skills, whatever you're needing help with to kind of boost your academic performance. We can help you with that as success coaches.
Awesome. Thanks, Ethan. So we have a question from the comment section. So I'm going to pass the baton over to Lindsay. Hey, Lindsay.
Hi. So Christian Clayton asked, do we need a student ID?
Thank you for the question. Yes, so with a formal picture student ID, we do not have that here at West Kentucky. You may hear the term student ID, which usually refers to your student ID number. That's a specific number that is unique to you. You use it a lot when you're in your advising sessions, financial aid, the business office. It's really an important number that you may be asked a lot. That helps our staff and faculty really identify who you are, but that is just a number. You do not need an actual photo ID. Like I said earlier, you do need a parking permit, and that is something that we ask that you purchase if you're going to be in any face-to-face classes here on campus. You can get that through our webpage, and we will mail that straight to you, or you can stop by the business office, and we'd be happy to help you get that.
Thanks so much, Jessica. That was a great question. So let's talk about online classes a little bit, Ethan. So a lot of adult learners may worry about taking online classes. So what resources are available in the Student Success Center to help them feel comfortable using technology?
Well, see, one of the great things about WKCTC is they kind of offer that flexibility because a lot of our students at the same time are trying to juggle work and family life, and they might not have enough time to be here on campus all the time. So this is a very, very commonly used option. So we have tutors, like I've said, they can provide you with small technology help during tutoring sessions. That's a great resource to have. And also have to reiterate our tech hub again too. Our tech hub, they can help with things such as trying to navigate Blackboard, trying to navigate your email, things like that. So whether you're 18 or 50, our main goal is to meet you where you are academically, personally, and even in this case, technologically, to try to help you get through these online classes and ultimately achieve your goals.
Very awesome. So we all know life happens sometimes. You know, any student can maybe fall behind because of something that's going on at work or that's something that's going on in their family. So if a student sees that they're falling behind or they need that extra help, what should they do?
The main thing is communication. This is the number one thing that I always preach. Communications with your instructors, but also with us in the Student Success Center, because whatever problems a student might be dealing with, we are able to help connect those students to the resources that they need, whether it's here on campus or somewhere out in the community. Because like I said earlier, it is our goal to help them succeed both personally and academically so that they can be the best student they can be.
Okay. And it looks like, Ethan, we have actually a question in the comments just for you. So we're going to let Lindsay ask that question.
Hi, Ebony Harmon asked, are there tutors at night?
Good question. So if you didn't hear that, the question was, are there tutors at night?
So we are only open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4 until 5 o'clock on Tuesday nights. So there aren't tutors from the Student Success Center that are able to meet with you after those hours. But one useful tool that we do have is a tool called BrainFuse. It's linked right into your Blackboard. And this is free online 24/7 tutoring. So if you're like me as a college student, I always like to stay up late to do my homework. But, at that time, if I needed help, there wasn't anybody available to help me. But with BrainFuse, there is always somebody there, and that is free to WKCTC students. So That's a
Awesome.
great resource.
That's great. So BrainFuse is free. What about all the other tutoring services that we've talked about and the Tech Hub? Are those free too?
Yes, it is all included with being a WKCTC student.
Great. So Ethan, before I let you go, I have one more question for you. So if you could give one piece of advice to someone watching who's nervous maybe about coming back to college, what would you say?
I would say don't wait until you feel completely ready. Because if you wait until that moment may never come. The most important step in the college journey is just actually getting started, taking that plunge, filling out your application, coming up with your schedule. So go ahead, take that plunge, take that leap of faith. It'll pay off for you in the end.
Thank you so much, Ethan. I really appreciate you being here. And, I think one of the biggest messages that we've heard tonight is there are people across campus who truly want students to succeed, and they are all here for you. Okay, so last chance. This is your last chance to get your questions in, if you have any, for our faculty and staff. We have nearly a dozen people here tonight who can answer any question that you may have. Also, if you're watching this later, if you missed us live, don't worry. You can always message us on Facebook or come by the Anderson Technical Building. We'll be so excited to meet and talk with you. So now, last but certainly not least, we are welcoming Sydney Nelson, our Student Support Coordinator, to talk about how sometimes success means getting help outside the classroom too. Hey, Sydney.
Hey, Mary Beth. Thanks for having me. You already announced me, but I'm Sydney Nelson, the Student Support Coordinator. I am in the Anderson Technical Building, room 129, and I primarily focus on non-academic student support. So Ethan was focused on academic, and I am non-academic/basic needs. So that can look like a wide variety of things.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about some of those needs. So what would some of those needs look like that you guys provide?
Yeah, basic needs. So hunger, if you are in need of food, transportation to class, unexpected class fees, anything that can be a barrier to you finishing your classes.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the Get Help form. If you've been on campus, you may have seen the bright colored posters that say Get Help. So can you explain what Get Help is and what Get Help can help you with?
Yes, Get Help can help you with almost anything. That's the first place to start if you need something that is non-academic. So the Get Help form, it is a QR code all over campus, in the bathrooms, it's online, it's easily accessible. That form is where you start if you are needing the campus cupboard, the food, the gas cards, the bus passes, things like that.
Okay. So you just mentioned the campus cupboard. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is and how students may access it if they need to?
Yeah. The campus cupboard is our food pantry, so our WKCTC students can shop that once every 30 days. It is completely free. There's all sorts of things in there. We keep food items, of course, frozen items, baby items, feminine products, anything that you might need in a pinch. We keep that. The first step is to fill out that Get Help form. That will come to my office, and then we will reach out to them within 24 hours.
Perfect. So you mentioned gas, and then we've talked about the campus cupboard. But also, we've got some mental health and wellness resources available as well. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. We house a Four Rivers Behavioral Health licensed therapist on our campus, free of cost to our students. They can have counseling with Mallory, is her name. And so that is a major benefit to our students. We know that if your mental health is not healthy, it's really hard to do your classes and be successful in your classes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And on the other side of a little bit of what you do, you also work with student life, which is also a really important part of the college experience. So if a student is brand new to campus, what are some ways that they can get involved and meet other people on campus?
Yeah, there's always something happening on campus, whether it's in the parking lot, in the library, in the student center. Something is always going on. We have annual events like Trunk or Treat and Extravaganza, so students can always stop by. Our events are majority of the time free. And then we also have our clubs and organizations that students can join. There's all different kinds of clubs and organizations, and they are free to join. They can go on our student app and look at those, or they can also go on our website. And then you also met Talia earlier digitally, and she is our SGA president, so she's always happy to help get a student connected.
What about students who want to join SGA? Do you have to have any prior experience, or are there any stipulations to being an SGA, or can you just come?
You can just attend. You can just come to a meeting. They will be on Mondays this upcoming fall in the Student Center in the SGA Club Room. But yeah, you can just come. You do not have to sign up to come to a meeting. Just stop by the Student Center, or you can also email me or Talia, and we'll be happy to guide you there.
Perfect. So I have one more question for you, Sydney, before I let you go. What is one thing that you wish or that you want every student to know before they ever need your office?
Don't wait until it's too overwhelming. If you feel the slight bit of anxiety, or if you think you might need some food until payday, do not wait until it's an emergency. And I also want them to know that they will never be judged when they walk in our office.
I think that's great. I think that's awesome. And Sydney, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Throughout tonight's conversation, we've talked about admissions, financial aid, academic programs, advising, and all of the incredible student support services available. And I just want to reiterate, almost everybody that we've had on here tonight has said, come talk to us. We want to talk with you. So I don't think you get that on a larger campus, and I think that is just so special. One thing that's become very clear is that no matter where you're starting from, you don't have to take this journey alone. And as we wrap up tonight, I want to thank all of our guests for sharing their time and their expertise, and I want to thank all of you for joining us. If tonight inspired you at all to take that next step, we encourage you to reach out to us. Our team is ready to answer your questions, help you apply, and guide you through the process of enrollment. If you would like to get more information about WKCTC or meet with someone in person, we have a wonderful opportunity coming up on July 28th. It's our Discover Your Path enrollment event, where you can talk to our team about all the topics that you heard here tonight. So mark your calendars, July 28th from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and that's in our Anderson Technical Building on our beautiful campus. Also, don't forget that we're going to be doing another live stream just like this one on August 3rd. That'll be at 6 o'clock. So if you have any friends or family members who you're thinking, man, I wish that I had told them about this live stream so they could answer some or ask some questions, you have another opportunity. So that's on August 3rd, and that's at 6 o'clock. Remember that fall classes begin on August 17th, and there's still lots of time to get started. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and we hope to see you on campus very soon.
Thinking about going back to college? Whether you're starting fresh, picking up where you left off, or changing careers, WKCTC's Discover Your Path is for people just like you. Stop by the Anderson Technical Building July 28th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. to explore programs, talk with advisors, and get help with admissions and financial aid. Whether it's been 1 year or 20, you don't have to figure it out alone. Don't wait. Register now by scanning the QR code or call 270-534-3435 for more information.